You know, Sam, have you ever thought about spiritual growth? Like, really thought about it? It's not just meditating in silence for hours or pretending to have all the answers. It's about figuring out who you are, why you react the way you do, and how to navigate life with more clarity. Honestly, I think everyone could use a bit of it, especially you. No offense, but I've seen how you handle losing a parking spot. Spiritual growth could save your blood pressure.
First of all, I stand by my reaction to the parking spot thief. Second, spiritual growth? That sounds suspiciously like a lot of work disguised as enlightenment. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to be one of those Zen people who can smile through chaos, but have you met me? My coping mechanism is binge-watching shows and arguing with my toaster when it burns my bread. Do I seem like spiritual growth material to you?
You're exactly the kind of person who needs it. But seriously, it's not about becoming someone else or pretending to have it all figured out. It's about peeling back the layers of stress, ego, and old habits that keep you stuck. You know, like that time you held a grudge against your cousin for eating the last slice of pizza at your birthday party, 3 years ago.
Okay, first of all, that was my pizza slice. I had my eye on it all night. But fine, I get it. Maybe I hold on to things a bit too tightly. Still, I don't see how peeling back layers is going to help me let go of my rightful claim to that pizza. It's not like I'm walking around saying, oh, if only I'd grown spiritually, I'd have enjoyed that pizza slice in peace. What does this growth thing even look like in real life? Break it down for me.
Glad you asked. It starts with awareness. Like, being aware of why that pizza incident still bugs you. Maybe it's not even about the pizza, maybe it's about feeling overlooked or undervalued. Once you figure that out, you can process those feelings instead of letting them simmer under the surface. From there, you can practice letting go, being more present, and, ultimately, finding gratitude. Think about how much energy you'd save if you didn't let little things ruin your day.
Like, thanks, world, for teaching me patience by making my cousin steal my food? Because if that's what you mean, I don't know if I'm ready for this spiritual thing. And what's all this about being present? I'm present every time my Wi-Fi goes down and I spend 20 minutes staring at my router. Is that spiritual growth?
Not quite. Being present means focusing on the here and now without judgment. Like, when your Wi-Fi goes down, instead of spiraling into frustration, you might take a deep breath, notice your reaction, and realize, hey, this is a chance to step away from screens for a bit. It's about responding intentionally instead of reacting impulsively. You'd be surprised how much calmer life feels when you practice that.
Okay, but what if I don't want to be calm? Sometimes yelling at the router feels pretty satisfying. And honestly, I can't picture myself sitting there, all zen, while chaos happens around me. What's the point of all this self-reflection stuff anyway? I mean, sure, I could sit around pondering my feelings, but wouldn't that just make me realize how many weird quirks I have? I'm not sure I'm ready to meet the full version of me.
That's the thing, spiritual growth isn't about judging yourself or picking apart your quirks. It's about embracing them. Everyone has their own baggage, and self-reflection is just a way to unpack it and decide what to keep and what to let go of. Think of it like cleaning out your closet. Sure, it's messy at first, and you might find some cringe-worthy stuff in there, but in the end, you feel lighter and more organized. Doesn't that sound appealing?
Okay, I'll admit, cleaning out my emotional closet does sound a little intriguing. But what if I start unpacking and find stuff I'm not ready to deal with? Like that time I accidentally called my boss mom in a meeting. Some things are better left buried, Alex. Can spiritual growth promise me I won't have to relive that?
No promises, but that's kind of the point. Facing those awkward, embarrassing, or even painful moments is part of the process. Once you face them, you realize they don't have power over you anymore. You can laugh about them, or at least stop cringing every time you think about them. And who knows, maybe you'll even learn something about yourself in the process.
Alright, you've got me curious. But tell me this, what's the end goal? Do I become some kind of spiritual superhero, floating around, solving problems with my newfound wisdom? Or is this more of a slow, subtle thing where I just feel better over time?
Definitely the latter. There's no finish line, no trophy, and certainly no superpowers, though that would be cool. It's more like a lifestyle shift. Over time, you'll notice you're less stressed, more patient, and maybe even happier. It's like upgrading the software of your mind. Sure, the changes are subtle at first, but they make a big difference in how you experience life.
Okay, I like the idea of upgraded software. But if this ends with me in a drum circle chanting about my inner light, I'm out. Baby steps, Alex. Baby steps.
Deal. No drum circles unless you want one. Let's start small. Tomorrow, take 5 minutes to think about one thing you're grateful for. Just 5 minutes, no pressure. See where it takes you.
5 minutes? I think I can manage that. But if I end up writing a gratitude list that's just coffee repeated 10 times, don't judge me.
Hey, if coffee brings you joy, that's a win in my book. Just don't spill it on the couch during your self-reflection session.
No promises, Alex. No promises.